Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. So today I am doing the Thrilling Thrillers book tag. I was tagged by Reading with Jess. Thank you so much for tagging me. And I will link her channel and her video down below so you can go check her out. I really love her channel for thriller recommendations. Y'all know I'm the thriller queen, but Jess recommends a lot of books that I've never heard of and that I really want to read. Just the way that she talks about them is like, girl, that makes me want to read it. Like, she could honestly sell me anything. So go check out her channel if you're looking for more thriller recommendations. I will also link the original tag video down below if you want to watch the original creator. And with all that said, let's go ahead and get into the tag. The first question is, what is the latest thriller that you bought? So I just got this in the mail literally yesterday. It is The Party by Robin Harding, and I think I took this recommendation from Zoe Delaney. I don't know if she typically reads a lot of thrillers. I just started watching her channel, but she spoke really highly of this domestic thriller, so I went ahead and ordered it on Amazon with a gift card that I had because it was like $6 or something like that, and I had a $10 gift card. I was like, hello, free book, love that. Apparently this is about a 16-year-old's birthday party that goes horribly wrong and a tragedy happens that rocks this family. Sorry, I literally just changed the angle because I realized I was like sitting at the bottom of the screen and you couldn't even really see me, so here I am in a new angle. Hope you guys don't mind. But yeah, 16-year-old girl has a casual little sleepover party for her sweet 16 and tragedy strikes. Sounds like something I would really like, and apparently it's really twisty, and I love a suburban domestic twisty thriller, so it sounds right up my alley. The next question is, which thriller have you most recently added to your TBR? I just added The Chain by Adrienne McKinty to my December TBR because I am buddy reading it with Caroline Johnson and Jess from Books Past Bedtime, and this is about a chain of child kidnappers.
Y'all know I love a kidnapping story.
That is my favorite kind of thriller, is a child or a teen or a baby that like goes missing or gets taken. Those are my favorite kind of thrillers. So I should love this book by the sound of that. Basically what happens is it's like a loop. One person's child gets kidnapped, and to get their kid back, they need to kidnap another child, and it just keeps going on and on and on. So sounds good to me. What could go wrong with that? The next question is, what thriller did you have high expectations for that ultimately let you down? And unfortunately, I have to say Bring Me Back by B.A. Paris. B.A. Paris wrote one of my favorite books of all time, not even just thrillers, but books of all time, which I will get to in a second. So I was really excited to get to another one of her books, but Bring Me Back was not good. It's about a man whose wife went missing, so I love a missing person story. But she went missing a long time ago, and now all of a sudden he thinks that she's back and she's leaving him messages, and he's really freaked out, and he's trying to move on and marry her sister. So he's like,
bitch, can you just get out of here?
And the whole time I just hated the main character. This man literally sucked. And the ending was ridiculous. I did not like it at all, so I do not recommend this book. If you want to see my like live hateful reactions to reading this book, I wrote it in a reading vlog for reading the lowest rated books on my TBR. So I will link that video down below and put a card up here so you guys can check that out because it's pretty funny. Next question is, what tropes do you love and hate in thrillers? I think Jess said this in her video as well, but I hate when the twist in a thriller is like,
oh, she was crazy.
That's not a twist. That is not a twist. Someone being crazy is not a twist. Anyone can be crazy walking around here. You don't know. Like, nobody knows. That's not a twist. I need something smart, something convoluted, something clever. And blaming a thriller on someone being crazy or having a mental illness is absolutely unacceptable. And I find in a lot of thrillers that this happens to be blamed on women. You know, oh, she was crazy, oh, she was pregnant and then she went crazy. No. On this channel, we do love a thriller, but we do not love a misogynistic thriller. We are out here looking for the thrillers with feminist themes, and I have a few that I'm going to recommend to you in a moment. The tropes that I love in thrillers are obviously kidnapping. I love a second person perspective in a thriller, like in You by Caroline Kepnes or I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh. I love twisted and graphic body horror and trauma in thrillers. I think it can add shock value, which does make a thriller more scary, obviously, but it also can speak to real tragedies and horrific graphic crimes that happen in real life that attention needs to be brought to. So it really harkens back to my love of true crime and bringing awareness to those things that actually happen. And it may be disgusting while you're reading it, but at the same time, you're gaining the awareness that this doesn't just happen in books. So I really think that graphic thrillers do have a place. I know that some people are absolutely disgusted by them, but I think there is a place for them in the genre, and I really appreciate when that is included for a reason, and I will let you know. I keep on saying like just wait, but I'm going to talk about my all-time favorite thrillers at the end of this video, and a lot of them have these themes that I love. The next prompt is to recommend an underrated thriller, and I'm going to recommend The Girls in the Garden by Lisa Jewell. Obviously, Lisa Jewell is my queen. She is a very hyped author in the thriller genre, but this is a book I don't hear a lot of people talk about. Honestly, I hear a lot of people talk about Watching You and The Family Upstairs, which are my two least favorite of all of Lisa Jewell's backlist. I really enjoyed this one though, and I think it's so underrated. It is not the most unpredictable, crazy, shocking thriller, but the drama and the story is so twisty and creepy and convoluted, and it leads you to think all of these different things, and then boom, at the end, it's sinister. And it's also really short, so if you're looking for a book to complete your Goodreads goal here at the end of the year, this would be a good one to read at the end as well. The next prompt is kind of like a little game for you to play in the comments. So I'm going to show you 3 thrillers, 2 I have read and 1 I have not, and you guys have to guess in the comments which one I haven't read.
This will just prove, you know, who watches all my wrap-ups, all my videos, who knows my reading taste. It's a true test of my subscribers, so I hope you're ready.
The first one I have here is The Butterfly Garden by Dot Hutchinson, The Other Misses by Mary Kubica, and The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. So let me know down below which one do you think I have not read, and I will definitely be in the comments responding, letting you know if you got it right. The next question says people are often intimidated by the thriller genre, so recommend some thrillers for beginners. These 3 thrillers that I'm going to recommend for beginners are really different, and I will explain why. If you usually read like chick lit or women's contemporary, just following a woman or a group of women or a family in a contemporary setting, a way to ease into the thriller genre would be to read Big Little Lies by Liane Moriarty.
Moriarty.
And this book follows a group of Southern California rich suburban women who get themselves into a situation where someone is murdered in their town, and all of them are under the cloud of suspicion. So they all kind of band together, and they're all very different, and they all have their own like family drama and dynamics going on, which is so twisty and interesting to read about to me. So I think if you're wanting to get into thrillers and you're a contemporary or women's fiction reader, this would be a really good transitional book for you. I also gave this 5 stars, so it's a really great thriller just in general. Next, if you are looking for a book that's kind of scary, spooky, atmospheric, but you don't want anything too intense and you're just getting into the mystery kind of format, then I would recommend The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This one is really atmospheric, kind of a slow burn mystery. Not a lot happens. You're just kind of trying to figure out who got murdered and who did the murdering throughout this book. So it's a pretty basic plot to follow. It's not too twisty and it's not too much to keep up with if you're not used to following a thriller like that. So it's pretty simple plot-wise. Basically, a group of people are on this remote island for a wedding and somebody gets murdered, and obviously somebody on the island murdered them. So you're trying to figure out who done it. Next, if you like sci-fi, fantasy, dystopian books, but you're wanting to get into thrillers more, I would recommend The Passengers and also The One by John Mars. Both of these books have like Black Mirror vibes, so there is that like sci-fi, dystopian, fantastical, technological element to both of them, but it's also a mystery thriller, so there are murders happening and there's a lot on the line. It's very thrilling and suspenseful, so it's a good way to ease yourself into the genre. The One is about a matchmaking service that has become very popular in the world in the future and it will basically tell you based on your DNA who your soulmate is. So you're following a bunch of people who are finding out their soulmates. One of the perspectives you're following is a serial killer. You're also following other perspectives that are thrilling and twisty and suspenseful. And in The Passengers, it is all about self-driving cars. They are becoming like the new norm for on the road, and it's about what happens if the self-driving cars fall under the attack of a hacker, and what would happen if somebody else had control of your car. Finally, the last question is to recommend your all-time favorite thrillers. The first one I literally just read. This is my new all-time 5-star thriller. It's actually a debut novel. It is Pretty Little Wife by Darby Kane. I don't have the book with me right now because I read it whenever I was home for Thanksgiving and I left it with my mom at her house because I'm like, you have to read this. So Pretty Little Wife is about a woman who's in a bad marriage and she doesn't know how to get out of it, and she ends up taking the way out by killing her husband, and she's kind of waiting for the body to be discovered and to get that call and have to like act all distraught. And then what ends up happening is she never gets the call. He's missing. How did a dead man go missing? Where did this man's body go? It's literally crazy. It's so twisty. The characters are phenomenal. We're following the perspective of the wife and then also the lead investigator on the case, who is a woman, and I love a female investigator perspective. This book has a lot of feminist themes and it is very graphic and thrilling, and I absolutely love it. Another newer favorite to me is Verity by Colleen Hoover. This follows an author named Verity who is in a coma following a horrible car accident, and she needs somebody to complete her book series while she's in her coma. So her husband hires another woman to do that, and this woman ends up moving into her house and kind of taking over her life. Well, Verity doesn't like that very much, and the girl that starts taking over Verity's life quickly learns that Verity might not be in a coma. Or is she just going crazy? Or is this house haunted? What is it? I don't know. Read it and find out. Just a warning though, this is not just a thriller, this is also a dark and twisted romance. So it is very explicit, and if you do not like smutty scenes, I would not recommend this for you. Finally, my last two all-time favorite thrillers are Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris and Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. These are my top 2 books ever, probably. I love these books. I want to reread them at some point because I simply love them so much. Behind Closed Doors is about a woman, Grace, who is locked into this horrible stifling relationship with her husband Jack. They seem like the perfect couple on the outside, but behind closed doors, he is a horrible, abusive, manipulative fuck. So it's basically about her trying to escape him, and there are feminist themes in this book. It's also really good at creating that air of suspense, and it's also really twisty, uncomfortable, graphic, and has some really disturbing elements to it. Finally, y'all know I had to end on Pretty Girls, my favorite thriller of all time. There are trigger warnings for this book for probably everything ever, so definitely be aware of that going into this book. But it's about Claire and her sister Lydia, who are pretty estranged. They have not been speaking to each other since the disappearance of their third sister and their dad's kind of unraveling in the wake of their sister's disappearance. They kind of blame each other for the breaking down of the family, and now a tragedy has taken place where it's going to bring the sisters together. Also, another girl in their town has gone missing, and it seems like this disappearance may be connected to their sister's disappearance from so many years ago. So there's a lot going on in this book. It is extremely graphic, extremely twisty, unpredictable, feminist, and amazing. Please read this book, please. If you are not a stranger to my channel, I've probably begged you to read this book before, but it's because it is so good. So I highly recommend that. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm not gonna tag people because I'm tagging you. I'm tagging everyone who's watching this. If you want to talk about your favorite thrillers, please feel free to do this tag. You can say that I tagged you. I tag everyone. So please do this video. And I hope you guys got some new great thriller recommendations from this video. If you liked hanging out with me, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe to my channel to keep up with all of my future videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.